When people woke up that morning and checked their phones, the internet felt different. It wasn't the usual light celebrity gossip or random trending topic. Something bigger was happening. Within minutes, timelines on every platform were filled with clips, screenshots, and heated debates. It all started with a live stream from gossip commentator Tasha K. At first, viewers thought it would be another dramatic broadcast filled with speculation and entertainment news. But as the stream went on, it became clear that this situation was about to spiral into something much more serious. Tasha K claimed she had evidence, real messages, recordings, and conversations that could completely change how people saw one of boxing's most respected champions, Claressa Shields. For years, Claressa Shields had built a powerful reputation. Inside the boxing ring, she was known for discipline, strength, and laser focus. Her record was impressive, and fans often described her as unstoppable. She represented determination and confidence. But suddenly, her name was being pulled into a complicated and messy story that had nothing to do with sports. The situation also involved rapper Papoose and his wife, hip-hop star Remy Ma. For a long time, the couple had been seen as one of hip-hop's most loyal relationships. Their love story was often talked about as an example of commitment in an industry where relationships rarely last. Because of that reputation, any rumor about trouble between them was already shocking. But the claims that started spreading online suggested something even more complicated. According to the story that began circulating, whispers about late-night phone calls and secret meetings had existed quietly for a while. These rumors had stayed mostly in private conversations and small gossip circles. But once the live stream began, everything changed. Suddenly, those whispers were being discussed in front of thousands of viewers. During the broadcast, Tasha K hinted that she had screenshots of messages and voice notes that could suggest a deeper connection between Claressa Shields and people close to Papoose. She didn't present everything at once. Instead, she slowly revealed pieces of information, building suspense and letting viewers react in real time. Within minutes, social media exploded. Clips from the live stream started spreading across platforms like wildfire. Users reposted short segments, adding their own opinions and theories. Some people believed the claims immediately. Others were more cautious, reminding everyone that online receipts are not always reliable. Still, the attention was impossible to ignore. Soon, screenshots began appearing from anonymous accounts that claimed to have insider knowledge. The messages looked simple at first. They included short conversations about meeting up, quick apologies, and vague discussions about plans. On the surface, nothing seemed shocking. But when people started reading between the lines, the tone felt very different. Certain phrases suggested emotional tension. Some texts seemed to hint at secret meetings. Others appeared to show confusion about who knew what and when. Internet detectives began analyzing every detail. One person would point out the timestamps. Another would focus on specific emojis. Someone else would try to match the dates with public events or appearances. The internet turned into a giant investigation. Not long after the screenshots appeared, another piece of content went viral. An audio clip. The recording was short and emotional. In it, two voices could be heard arguing. One sounded angry and hurt, while the other seemed defensive and overwhelmed. At one point, a voice in the clip said something that quickly became one of the most quoted lines online. A complaint about being told someone else was just a distraction. The recording cut off suddenly, leaving listeners wondering what happened next. Nobody could confirm who the voices actually belonged to. Some viewers were convinced one of them was Claressa Shields. Others insisted it was someone completely different. But the uncertainty didn't stop the clip from spreading. On platforms everywhere, people replayed the audio again and again, trying to analyze every word. As the drama grew, older interviews featuring Claressa began circulating online again. In those videos, she spoke about dedication, discipline, and loyalty. At the time those interviews were recorded, the comments sounded like motivational advice. But now, some viewers were using those same clips to suggest the opposite. Captions appeared accusing her of being involved in secret drama behind the scenes. The narrative was changing quickly, and not everyone agreed with it. Many fans rushed to defend her. They pointed out that Claressa had spent years building her career through hard work. Risking everything over complicated personal drama didn't make sense to them. To supporters, the accusations felt unfair and possibly exaggerated. Other users believed the leaked material told a different story. They argued that the messages suggested hidden relationships and broken promises. The debate became intense. Late that night, the situation escalated even more when Tasha K returned for another live stream. This time, she hinted that what people had already seen was only the beginning. According to her, additional messages existed. She claimed there were more voice recordings, along with information that could allegedly show a detailed timeline of events. The idea was that these records could reveal who met with whom and when certain conversations happened. If that information ever became public, it could completely change the way people understood the story. At that moment, the biggest question wasn't simply whether the rumors were true. Instead, people were asking something else. Who leaked everything in the first place? Some believed the information came from someone inside the circle. Others thought it might have been released by someone seeking attention or revenge. Because the source was unknown, every new post added another layer of mystery. Meanwhile, fans began closely watching the social media pages of everyone involved. A short post from Remy Ma caught particular attention. The message was brief but powerful. A phrase suggesting that the truth eventually comes out. It didn't mention any names directly, but the timing made people think it was connected to the scandal. That single post triggered a new wave of speculation. Was it a warning? Was it confirmation that something had happened? Or was it simply a comment unrelated to the situation? Nobody knew for sure, but everyone had an opinion. As the night continued, another viral post appeared. It came from someone claiming to have witnessed a heated argument involving people connected to the drama. The person described raised voices, accusations, and an emotional confrontation that could supposedly be heard through the walls. According to the post, the argument ended with someone threatening to reveal everything. There was no proof that the story was accurate. Still, it spread rapidly, adding fuel to the already growing fire. Soon after, a new twist entered the conversation. One leaked message suggested that Claressa might not have known the full situation. According to that screenshot, she may have believed she was in a committed relationship, unaware that other connections existed. If that claim were true, it would dramatically change the narrative. Instead of being seen as someone interfering in a relationship, she might be viewed as someone who had been misled. The possibility created even more debate online. People began arguing about 3 different theories. In one version of the story, Claressa was portrayed as someone intentionally involved in a complicated situation. In another version, she was seen as someone who had been manipulated by false promises. In a third interpretation, she was simply caught in the middle of a misunderstanding that had grown far beyond reality. Each theory had supporters. While all of this unfolded, Papoose remained mostly silent. His lack of public comments made people even more curious. Some believed he was staying quiet to avoid adding more drama. Others thought the silence suggested something more serious happening behind the scenes. The absence of clear statements from anyone involved left a large empty space that the internet quickly filled with speculation. As the days passed, more alleged messages appeared online. These new screenshots supposedly showed conversations about meeting locations, dates, and personal discussions. Some people believed they confirmed earlier rumors. Others questioned whether the images had been edited. The arguments never stopped. Meanwhile, audio recordings continued to circulate. In one particularly dramatic clip, a voice was heard saying they believed they were the only person in someone's life. Another voice responded coldly that they had never truly been the only one. Whether real or fake, the clip created another explosion of reactions. By the following morning, Claressa Shields' name was trending everywhere alongside words like betrayal, scandal, and secret relationships. Memes appeared. Reaction videos flooded YouTube and TikTok. Podcasts started discussing the story, as if it were a mystery novel unfolding in real time. But the most important detail remained unclear: the truth. Some observers began pointing out that social media often moves faster than facts. Screenshots can be altered. Audio clips can be edited. Context can easily disappear once information spreads online. Despite that warning, the discussion continued growing. Soon, rumors appeared suggesting that someone close to Claressa might have leaked parts of the story intentionally. The motivation behind such a move was unclear. Some believed it could have been revenge. Others thought jealousy might have played a role. Whatever the reason, The idea that the leak came from inside the circle made the situation feel even more dramatic. The scandal was no longer just about three well-known figures. It now involved friends, insiders, and unknown sources who might have influenced the narrative. As public attention increased, another serious concern appeared: the possible impact on careers. Claressa Shields is not only a famous athlete, but also a professional competitor with contracts and sponsors. If the controversy continued growing, some worried it could affect how brands and organizations viewed her. Even if the claims turned out to be false, public perception can sometimes cause damage before the truth is known. For that reason, some reports suggested that legal teams had begun monitoring the situation closely. Lawyers and advisors were likely reviewing the circulating material, deciding how to respond without escalating the drama further. Behind the scenes, conversations were probably happening that the public would never hear. Meanwhile, fans continued waiting for the next big revelation. Every notification on their phones created excitement. People refreshed their feeds constantly, wondering whether a new screenshot, recording, or statement would finally appear. At one point, rumors began spreading about a recording that could supposedly prove the entire timeline of events. According to those whispers, the recording might reveal exactly who knew about certain relationships and when those conversations happened. If that recording ever surfaced, it could change everything. Reputations could be damaged. Careers could be affected. Friendships might fall apart. That possibility kept the internet watching closely. By then, the situation had become more than just celebrity gossip. It had turned into a massive online drama involving loyalty, trust, and the dangers of digital rumors. Everyone involved faced intense public attention. Claressa Shields, known for her confidence in the boxing ring, now found herself at the center of a storm she could not fight with gloves. Papoose and Remy Ma, once praised as one of hip-hop's strongest couples, were suddenly being discussed in connection with betrayal rumors. And Tasha K, whose live stream started the entire conversation, remained a central figure in how the story was spreading. But the most important thing remained uncertain: what was real and what was simply speculation. Until clear proof appeared, every claim remained just part of an evolving narrative shaped by social media, emotions, and millions of opinions. For now, the world continued watching, refreshing their feeds and waiting for the next update. Because in a story this intense, the final truth rarely appears all at once. Instead, it reveals itself slowly, piece by piece, while the internet reacts to every new detail. And until that truth becomes clear, the conversation surrounding Claressa Shields, Papoose, Remy Ma, and Tasha K will likely continue capturing attention across the entire online world.